lost Ralph. Don't worry, we know where he is. We should find him again shortly. For now, you'll be nestled down with me like this WAHLBERG'S eagle. That's okay. I'm happy. So we're at the nest around Giraffe Crossing, Gari Katlan Central Road. And the dark form, WAHLBERG'S eagle, is sitting on the nest in the middle of the African bush. Isn't it awesome? So we've been checking on this nest every now and then because, according to my calculations, which very well could be wrong, but according to my calculations, these WAHLBERG'S eagles started sitting on the nest and incubating. Oh, the rain is picking up. That's exciting. They started incubating just before I went on leave, which was over a month ago now. So they have got maybe 2 weeks left, and then we might start seeing chicks. And that is super exciting. Now, this is a ballpark figure, that kind of 44 to 46 days. It's usually fairly accurate, but it is a ballpark figure. You know how it goes with any pregnancy, with any incubation. It's a ballpark figure. It can be more, it can be less. It depends on the environmental conditions, the resources available, like food, everything. So we're expecting in the next 2 weeks to have little chicks here and seeing the adults come in and start feeding, but it can change by a few days before, a few days after. So maybe it'll happen in a week and a half, maybe it'll happen in 2.5 weeks, who knows. But somewhere in the next 2 weeks we're going to have chicks here, and hopefully they survive. We've been monitoring all the WAHLBERG'S eagles' nests. We have not yet found any batelier nests or short-tailed snake eagle nests. We haven't found any active hawk eagle nests, but the WAHLBERG'S eagles have been blowing us away with their nesting. We've got 2 pairs on Ledwood Road and 1 pair here that are nesting. Oh, Mandy, there are a lot of birds that nest on the ground. Everything that is a ground-dwelling bird nests on the ground. So that can be anything from francolins and spurfowls right the way through to things like guinea fowls, red-crested corehorns, ostriches. Everything that is mostly found on the floor will nest on the floor. And they don't actually build a nest. Most of the time it's called a scrape nest, which means instead of having a stick or twig structure like this WAHLBERG'S eagle underneath a thicket of bushes or something like that, you'll have a scrape nest, which means they scratch the ground to flatten it out, get rid of any stones, anything hard, any obstructions on the floor. And then occasionally they might add 1 or 2 things like a feather here or something there, a bit of grass. But they don't actively build a nest or construct a nest like this. They just scrape a hollow into the ground so that when they sit or lie on top of the nest, the eggs are safely tucked away in a little bit of a concave structure, so it kind of goes into the ground in a little hollow, and then they incubate on top of that. But those eggs will look very different to these eggs, so there's a whole lot of different factors at play. Up in a nest like this, you don't really have to have well camouflaged eggs, but if you've got a scrape nest on the floor, even like a blacksmith lapwing, you have to have eggs that look like the substrate on which you have built your nest. So they look flecked or speckled to blend in with little stones and things on the floor, or the soil type, for example. The eggs won't be as white. They'll be more creamy colored or brown or a darker color to blend in on the floor, and they'll try and hide it somewhere or camouflage the nest on the floor. So quite a different structure to something like this WAHLBERG'S eagle, but we are hoping we find a lot more nests in the nearby future, even the smaller ones like blue waxbills. For now,